Hey, what's happening? Happy Friday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early. It's 4 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, I found a media outlet that I'm probably going to go to more often to get content for this channel. Right Wing Watch. Right Wing, Daryl? What are you saying? All right, here's the reason why. I go to, go on Twitter, I go down Right Wing Watch feed, and I swear to God, within 30 seconds, every time, I've done this 3 or 4 times, within 30 seconds easily, I'll come across a video. Most of these, I haven't heard of these guys, and I'll watch the video, and it's somebody that intrigues me that I'd like to talk about, that I'd like to do so, to discuss more on my channel. There's a lot of interesting people there. Today is no different. Teddy Daniels. I've never heard of this guy. I'm sure a lot of the people that are tuning in now have, though. For those of you who don't know who he is, the link will be right down below, so you can watch this video. I encourage you. It's only a 30-second or so video, maybe less than a minute, to watch it. Let me describe what he's saying, and then I'm going to give my opinion of it. All right, Teddy Daniels. If you looked up Trump supporter in the dictionary, there'd be a picture of Teddy Daniels. He's a bald guy, probably about 5 years older than me. Baby boomer, right on the cusp of baby boomer, Gen X. He's got his American flag up he's got all his ammo and whatever, right-wing paraphernalia up behind him. Gotta be wearing camo, of course. He's bald and angry. The beard, gotta be masculine. I don't know how tall he is. He's probably, the way he's talking like a big dude. He could be 5 feet tall, but I'm guessing from his attitude, he's probably pretty big. Okay, now, this is what he's saying. He starts off the video by talking, sissification. So many things are wrong with America today. Now, he starts off by saying, back when I was young, there were fights. He says this. He says, now, they don't even allow fights on the playground. They don't even allow fights at recess. Back when I was in school, you go outside and somebody talks smack, you handle it. In high school, you handle it. Well, let me just go right there, because I had to stay in from recess. I remember writing on a blackboard, I will not fight at school. I will not fight at school. I will not fight at school. No, there was never, look, I went to school in the early 70s, 70, 71, right around when this guy went to school. And there was never any, let me just start right there. That's bull. There was never any time there was any fighting allowed on any playground. Like I said, I had to stay in for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, I think at one time, for getting in fights on playgrounds. He goes on to say, he's willing to bet that 95% of millennials have never even been in a fist fight. This is a problem for him. And he goes on to say that people could say whatever they want. Freedom of speech. He said, I watched this video about, honestly, a little under 10 times. And every time I watched it, I picked up, you could tell, when I'm on this channel, I'm me. I'm always me, regardless of your comments or whatever. I talk from my heart, and if I talk from my heart, I am who I am, and I'm proud of who I am. But this guy, so he's talking about, back in his day, you used to fight, and that's how you worked your way up. The alpha males, it was all by brawn and kicking butt, and if people said the wrong thing and said they didn't like you, you knocked their teeth in, blah, 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 blah. It's all about survival of the fittest and all this other stuff, right? But there's when people talk, their insecurities come out. So he says this. He says, he calls them beta males, sissified It's interesting because he calls guys that never been in a fight, feminine, beta males, and I completely disagree with that. I've been in probably over 100 fist fights, honestly, but now the older I get, I have more respect for the people that never have been in fights. And I'll get into that more in a second. He says this. He says, till you run into a guy who forgets he's on social media. And then he implies he roughs the guy up because this guy said something to him at one time or another on social media. And the more I heard that, it's like, wait a minute, this guy, what he's saying there, in a subliminal way, is don't talk smack to me in the comments, because if I ever run into you in person, so he doesn't want anybody to talk. He's scared. He doesn't want anybody to say anything bad about him, because if he finds him, if he ever runs into him, boy, they're in for trouble. I just watched my my last video, and I was disappointed. I think this is the kind of video that gets more views as time goes on. For my niche, it wasn't expecting this, but when the ghost hunter niche finds it, I believe it'll find more views. But I came across some disparaging comments, whatever you want to call them, and they don't bother me in the least. Sometimes there's some of the most entertaining comments I get. It doesn't change who I think I am. They don't even make me angry. They really don't. Honestly, when somebody insults me, it really gives me more of an insight into who they are. Like, there's this one guy, I don't remember who his tag, but he says he's rich AF. And the first thing that pops into my mind is people that are rich AF don't say they're rich AF. And if you're rich AF, you don't sit at home all day making comments on videos on YouTube. You're out doing and earning money. Because when I got clean and sober, I am busy all day. 4 hours of working out. I was been doing 3 hours of YouTube videos and at least three or four hours of galleries and painting and selling my artwork every single day. I barely have time for sleep. And you gotta hustle. You don't get rich AF by sitting at home making comments on YouTube. Anyway, so he says this. He says, he's basically threatening anybody watching, because he's tired. He's scared of getting these comments. If I run into you, you're in trouble. All right. And then again, he says he's tired of being put down. And that stuck out to me. Because when I see comments on my channel, and in this life, there's always going to be people that dislike you. Always. That's how you're alive, I guess. And they roll off. If you know who you are, those things roll right off you. Somebody could say whatever they want. Pick an insult for me. I'm feminine or something. And it's like, I know at this point in my life, I know who I am. And if somebody said that to me, I honestly wonder why that's coming into their mind. Why are they looking at me in a feminine way? What is it, what is it about them? Because I know who I am, And so he says he's tired of being put down, and that says something about insecurity right there. And he says something about insecure, beta, sissy males, and all this other stuff. Okay, let me give you my opinion. I gave you my opinion on him and everything, kind of on looking into what I saw beyond his words. But fighting. Let me talk about that again. When I first got into school, my dad died when I was 9. I've said this over and over, from brain cancer. He taught me how to box. Left, right, uppercut, powerhouse. Left, right. I still remember. I remember we used to box on Sundays. Wild World of Sports. And the agony of defeat. And he would be on his knees. We put a blanket down on the living room floor, and he'd be on his knees. He'd have his boxing gloves on. I'd be standing up. I was all of 5, 6 years old, and I had little boxing gloves. I'll put a picture on my thumbnail. There's pictures of me doing this. And he'd teach me how to box. Those are some of the greatest memories of my life. Let me tell you some of the advice my dad gave me. Never take the first swing. Now, I know why he said this. See, this would go against what this guy's saying right here. This guy Teddy Daniels is saying, if somebody says booty in the wrong way, if somebody insults you, he'd knock him flat. My dad taught me never take the first punch. I think he was saying that from a legal point of view, but more of a gentlemanly thing, I think, too. And I learned later on that there's a point after being hit in the face repeatedly. I got in a lot of fights. I was very tall. I'm 6'3" now. I was close to 6'5" at my highest point. I've actually gone down. I swear to God, I've gotten shorter. I've had 2 discs taken out, and I'm 56 years old. I've actually lost about 2 inches, swear to God. I got singled out. I got picked on a lot. And I was quiet when I first, I was artistic and quiet. So I didn't use what I had. And people knew I was a target. All right. Then at 14, about 5 or 6 years after my dad died, we moved. My mom actually went to work, worked hard, and bought us a house. We moved to the house. But it was on the rougher side of the tracks near the city. And I got in a fight. I got in fights every day. And I used to ride my bike back to the old neighborhood every single day. And I lost all the fat and the weight, and I built muscle. And during that 13, 14, 15 years old, I grew another foot. And from going to get picked on, I remember my freshman year in high school, one of the junior girls from the volleyball team, one of the stars of the girls volleyball team. We used to love watching girls volleyball, those shorts. And she asked me to go to the junior prom with her. And that just, my stock price just shot through the roof then. And I learned how to fight. I changed into a different person. And then I started using, and I got in a lot of fights. Like I said in another video, and I'm not proud of this. It's pretty much the opposite. I've broken noses. I've had my nose broke 3 times. If you see, it's pushed over that way. I've had it straightened twice. Yeah, they did this while I was awake. They put like wooden things in here and hit me in the face with a hammer. Then put a cast on it for a week. And I got in a fight with a cast on my nose. I was walking at the mall, and some guy like this singled me out because I was tall, and I was a challenge to his alpha maleness, and I got in another fight, and I had to have another cast put on my nose. Okay, let me just get to the point of this. Usually by my age or by his age, I think those of us, once I started getting in fights, I said this before, I was scared to ever hit somebody. It took a long time before I actually just hauled off and hit somebody in the face. And the first time I did it, I was shocked. I didn't even feel it. I just saw the guy's head fly back, and I was shocked at how much damage I did. And then it came too easy for me. It came way too easy. And I almost wish I never took that first swing. I always felt bad after leaving somebody laying in the dirt or whatever. And what always went through my mind is, this guy has got cousins, he's got brothers, he's got fathers, he's got friends. You always have to look over your shoulder. I don't care if this guy denies that or not. Whenever you get in a fight and you hurt somebody, it's always in your mind. That's one more person that you got to watch over your shoulder for the rest of your life. You never know when this person's going to pop up. In this video, he says, people that make these comments on YouTube or on social media should be worried when they run into them. I get that feeling still from the people that I heard, the people that I did this stuff to, that they're going to pop up sometime in my life. These people that had broken noses or whatever I did. The thing I learned is it takes more to walk away. If you know who you are, it doesn't bother you. It runs right off you. People could say whatever they want. The more they talk, the more it's an insight into who they are and their flaws and their insecurity. It's just they're just burying themselves when they insult you. I felt frustration too, sometimes when I'd see comments, people, the thing that bothers me is people have so much time to respond. It takes a quick wit and confidence to reply quick, one-on-one, face-to-face, when you're having a verbal sparring. But when you're on the internet, you could get a comment and then wait a whole day and then go through all the replies, and then, you come up with a good one in 24 hours, you reply to it, and, there's too much time. For verbal sparring, it takes a lot more intelligence to do it face to face. That's one thing that kind of bothers me about, responding to comments or people commenting, people giving me disparaging comments is there's a time lapse there where you get too much time to analyze and to think. If you're really confident in yourself, you should be able to do it face to face. But this is the kind of guy. This kind of guy scares me. He does, because he's insecure, number one, and he's dangerous, and he's got the drive and the mindset to hurt other people. Anybody that disagrees with him, anybody that makes him feel weak, anybody that puts him down. I see him running along on time. I didn't think I was going to go this long. All right. Anyway, I urge you guys. I have no idea. I went up to 15 minutes on this video. I got more to say about this. I'll talk more in another video later today. I'm going to make 2 videos today. You guys have a great Friday.